Please be seated. All right, well, the record in the matter of the 2013 Lake County, Indiana Treasurer's Sale, 45 CO1, 1308 MI 129, Attorney Wiley appears on behalf of Lake County Auditor's Office. And we're set today for hearing on the application for judgment filed by the Lake County Treasurer and for the order of sale of 2013, and for any objections that have been filed with regard to properties, asking them not to be included in the 2013 Treasurer's Sale. Attorney Wiley, are we ready to proceed?
We are good.
We have some attorneys signed in. Attorney Kramer?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I represent Alberto Serrano. In my objection, I outlined the basis of the objection. Mr. Serrano owns the real estate, but he sold the real estate on contract to a gentleman named Fernando Rodriguez, whose attorney is here today. Fernando Rodriguez did not make payments to my client, so my client commenced the foreclosure action, in which part Fernando Rodriguez, who was buying the property, filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, staying us from any action.
Judge, I think it's number 40 on the list.
Yeah, it's number 40 on the list. Is
Judge,
that
we've got an agreement.
Have any objection?
We have no objection to the removal, Judge, based on the bankruptcy. So it's an agreed removal.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley.
And just for everybody that's here today, we're going to try and make this process today as streamlined as possible. I have personally reviewed every single petition that's been filed. So when you're called, come forward. If there's anything to add briefly, you can add it to what your petition said, but I've reviewed all the petitions. Then I'll ask the auditor's office if they have an objection. At the conclusion of the hearing, I'm going to take each and every case under advisement, go back and relook at every particular petition that's been filed by anyone, and along with noting what the auditor's objection is, and then I'll review those, and I'll be getting an order out on Monday of next week. Please remember that this hearing is simply as to whether or not you'll be on the tax sale. If you are a person who your property goes up for tax sale, remember that, one, it might not be sold, or two, there's a 1-year redemption period, and there's always the opportunity to work out payments, potentially with the auditor's office, and or redeem a property that goes to tax sale. So today's not the day that, if anybody makes it through to the tax sale, that you'll be losing your property. There are additional steps along the way where you can save or redeem your property. So with that, I'm going to go to the next item on the list. Attorney Devine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your number on the list?
Number 16, I believe, Your Honor, Hollywood Manor.
Okay.
We have an agreed removal on this as well, Judge. There was an assessment error based on P numbers.
Okay.
As such, we have an agreed removal from the tax.
All right. We'll show that granted then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Attorney Reed.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Number 36 through number 39, I believe, Your Honor.
All right.
Or 38.
36, 37,
and 38.
and 38.
39, he does not represent Dina or Alexander Gary. And number 39, that was a misprint, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, on number 36, Karen Costanza and Kathleen Padula, there are appeals pending on the assessment. As a result, I believe the court's policy normally is to remove those from the sale. And we have no objection to that.
What about 37 and 38?
Same thing on number 37. Appeals are also pending for 11 pay 12, and payments were made actually this past spring. So that's also, we have no objection to agreed removal, Judge.
All right, very good, we'll show those granted.
Number 38 is an issue, Judge. The first key number listed under number 38
Yes,
is ending, it's 45-06-366-401-006.000-027. That was actually sold at last year's treasurer's sale. So that is improperly on the list for objection. I think Mr. Reed did list that on his objection, but that's already been sold.
I included 3 key numbers. It should have only been 2. The first key number should have been on a different cause number to have the sale canceled. Those properties should be and actually have been at this point corrected to the developers' rates. They were taxed at full rate and they have not been sold, or building permits have not issued pursuant to the statute. So they have been corrected. I just have to go through the process to get that tax sale canceled. The other 2, I believe, are on tax sale. They are likewise developers' rate properties. They are in the community estate subdivision in Munster and still owned by one of the original developers.
And we noted in our records, Judge, that there is an appeal pending under the 2011 tax year. Prior appeals have been resolved for 07, 08, and 09, but because of the pending appeals on the next 2 key numbers, we would agree to removal on those 2, Judge.
we'll show those granted, and as far as the other one, we'll have to file the appropriate motion in those particular files, and when that comes up, we'll deal with it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Do you have any others, add-ons? I have an add-on sheet here that says Attorney Reed has number 42.
Oh, you're right, Your Honor. Hammond First Assembly of God. That's also an agreed removal, Judge. That was sold at Commissioner's sale, I have.
The exemption was approved on those on August 28th, this past Peter Bowie.
This past month, the Peterborough gave it full exempt status. As a result, the taxes need to be canceled and need to be removed from the sale.
Okay, show that here. Anything else?
Nothing for Mr. Reed, Your Honor.
All right. Attorney Kokoski?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Other than what's in my petition, another situation which I want the court to be aware of, we're in the process of selling this property. The arrangement with the title company was that we'll sell some of these.
Number 14, Your Honor.
Yeah, it's number 14. I see it.
The title company would be holding some of this property, some of this tax liability in escrow. One of the things that came out in the title was a amount of $3,200 on personal property tax, which after research we found out that that's not my client's debt, it's someone else's, and we're trying to get that clarified, and we weren't able to close this real estate, which is pending for close prior to getting this cleared up. So other than that, we'll probably be able to close and sell the property.
Attorney Wiley?
Judge, this property has been delinquent since 2010. The last payment made was in June of 2011 in the amount of just over $4,200. The auditor would have no objection to a payment plan. The outstanding tax is in excess of $9,000, Judge. We'd have no objection to the 25% payment plan to get it removed. That payment would have to be made by September 12th. That amount is $2,420.
We probably wouldn't be able to make payment. I mean, the point was to be able to sell the property. So at this point, she's in position to make a payment plan within the next 5 days.
When's the closing set for?
We're hoping to get the final things cleared up within the year. We do have a purchaser.
Right. So we'll show that the auditor objects to that.
We do, Judge.
Okay. All right. I'll take that advisement. Look for final.
Did you want us to notify them before or if it's closed in the interim period?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, by Monday. By Monday. Yeah.
By Monday.
Yeah, by Monday. Attorney Wyatt. Item number 33.
Yes, Your Honor. I represent a land contract purchaser on this vegetables. I noticed in my petition that I did not include the cost number of the other litigation that's pending in room 4, that's Superior Room 4.
And I think this is also the same as number 12.
Right, we crossed out 33 as a duplicate, Judge, and we're working off number 12.
Okay.
Our understanding was Attorney Patrick Schuster was on this file as well, Judge.
And I think his client is here. I talked to Attorney Schuster.
Judge, same thing, we, based on the litigation, we would agree to a payment plan on this. The 25% payment that would need to be made by September 12th is $1,891.68, and then the rest of the payments are over the year. That would be an agreement with the Treasurer's Office. If that can be made by September 12th, we would agree to removal from the sale.
Attorney Wyatt?
We can make that happen.
Okay.
The exact amount again?
$1,891.68. That's 25% of the taxes due. And then you'll enter a written agreement with the Treasurer's Office on the balance.
Okay. I'll make sure that gets done between right.
So next week, before the 12th. Very good.
Attorney Costas, do you have anything else?
Yes, in reference to number 19, any file objection, because I had spoken with Ms. Sid from the Purchase Office and Vinnie and Kathy a couple days ago, and I had emailed them and provided information that Mr. Nominee is in a bankruptcy, and he's after 13 bankruptcies prior to the sale. The purchaser has filed a claim on the parcel that was in the bankruptcy, but my client was not aware that there's a second parcel that's a lot, and he thought that the lot was in the one key number. Ms. Sid informed me that she was going to remove it from the sale, but I just want to make sure that it has been removed.
Okay.
Oh, it's Foster.
Attorney Wyatt? Number 19.
Judge, this is a hardship objection. They've been non-compliant in past.
The Attorney Costas just stated it was in bankruptcy.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Do you have something to change that, Mr. Costas?
I sent it to Ms. Sid on the 26th day of August. I spoke to somebody named Kathy a couple days ago, and she told me that they had received all of the documents. Now, I want to make sure that it's the same nominee, because I have one and it appears the same address, but I know that I sent everything to Ms. Sid on the 26th day of August, and she told me that it will be removed. And I spoke with Kathy from the Purchase Office a couple days ago, and she told me that the record showed that it had been removed. But I just want to make sure that it's the same nominee. If not, I could again email and fax all of the documents to the opposing counsel.
All of our records show, Judge, our run on the status of the parcel was done on September 4th. Shows no issue of bankruptcy being filed. It shows they were non-compliant in past tax year payment plans, and as a result, we would object to the removal.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Like I said earlier, I'm going to review the files, I'm noting the auditor, the reason for the objection, and I'll look at the files and I'll enter it in my order on Monday.
Just want me to email and fax both the court and closing counsel proof that he's in bankruptcy?
Yeah, that would be useful.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
It was removed.
Attorney Wiley, do we have another attorney issue to deal with before we move on to the self-represented?
We do. Mr. Shapiro is here in court right now. Judge is number 17. We're looking at some documents he's provided to me this morning.
I apologize, Your Honor. I was in the Florida Superior Court and this document.
Judge, he's provided me some documents showing that this sale was apparently removed to this East Chicago court before Judge Hawkins, and it is in litigation regarding a prior sale issue. As a result, we would agree to removal.
Okay, we'll show that removed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't know. You would be a point round.
All right, Andrea Cooper. It's 15 on the list. Item 15. Is there anything else that you wish to add that, in addition to the petition that you filed?
Just that I would hope that I could qualify for some kind of payment plan.
Judge, on Ms. Cooper's file, number 15, it's also a hardship objection, as you saw. She's been non-compliant in past payment plans. As a result, the treasurer's position is to object to any further payment plans and object to the removal from the sale.
Any other, anything else you want to add other than what's in your petition?
No.
Okay.
Can I ask the question?
Sure.
I have till the 12th, and I think she told me it was $1,900 to take it off.
1985-38.
Okay, 1985.38. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Cynthia Sergakis.
Number 4, Judge, I believe.
Yes, number 4. Is there anything else in addition to your petition that you wish to say today?
Just if I can have a little more time to pay.
Attorney Wiley?
Judge, this is also a hardship situation,
No payment plan for.
and also objection because, there been no payment plan?
No payment plans in the past.
No, that's to remove it from the sale.
Judge, we have no objection to the payment plan, but the 25% would need to be paid by September 12th. We're going to give you that figure right now. It's, number 4 is $2,280.45. Is that right?
$2,274.45.
So explain to her
What that means is under the statute, if you can pay 25% of the taxing result, and that amount is $2,274.45 by September 12th, they'll remove it from the sale. And then you can work on, the payment plan will then be arranged with the treasurer's office to pay the balance.
Is that something that you can do? Is that something that's agreeable to you? Yes? Okay. All right, we'll show it as agreed removal subject to the payment plan. Correct?
Right, agreed removal, as long as the payment is made, and we'll have to advise the court whether the payment was made.
Okay, very good, thank you. Charles Sears. Item 18 on today's call. Mr. Sears, is there anything that you would like to add that is not included in the petition you filed with the court?
Yeah, I've been down to the treasurer's office in regards to, I asked for amnesty, and when I went down in May to pay my May installment, they said it wasn't available. When I went over there recently, the 22nd, they said it went through July. So I've been getting a lot of misinformation. I've been a taxpayer since '88. I'm getting the wrong information, and I do want to pay all the taxes.
I'll give them the right information right now, Judge. This is a hardship objection by Mr. Sears. The 25% payment, if he can make that by the 12th of September, is only $1,493.55. If you can pay that, we'd agree to remove it from the sale.
I was hoping to get the fees reduced or eliminated.
What fees? I'm sorry.
His total owed right now, Judge, is $5,974. He's got penalty. I think he's talking about penalties and things like that.
Is there anything?
We cannot agree to that, Judge, at this point. That amount to get it removed, those are issues he can bring up later, I assume, either with a filing with the court or... But right now, we cannot remove the penalties that are out there. When's the last payment?
See, that's when I went there to ask for the amnesty, because I was paid the whole thing at that time.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's been delinquent since 2010, Judge.
Okay, so
you make the payment on May.
Explain to him what you're offering.
If you can pay $1,493.55 by September 12th, it'll get removed from the sale.
What about the fee?
And again, if it doesn't get removed from the sale, you still have a year to redeem it.
The penalties on it.
The penalties.
Penalties are not going to be removed. They cannot be removed.
Basically, what he's saying, for the purposes of today's hearing is to determine whether it goes on the sale or not.
Understood.
In order to get it off the sale for your immediate problem, he's telling you that you can pay, what is it?
25%, which would be $1,493.55.
And then you can worry about trying to remove the penalties, et cetera, later.
Okay.
So is that what you're going to do?
That's fine, yeah. Just
Okay.
we had reassessment issues, and then this is how things got nerves.
Okay. You know what you need to do then?
And
Explain to him.
Judge, and also for everybody else in the audience, these 25% payments need to be made to auditor, correct?
treasurer.
Or treasurer? Okay.
Treasurer.
To the treasurer's office. All right? So just before September 12th, which is 6 days from today, by next Thursday, pay $1,400, right?
Yeah, I got it.
By September 12th at the treasurer's office. Just make that payment. Well, just do that now, and it'll take it off the sale, and you can work out that stuff later with the payment on it. Okay? All right.
But the taxes don't usually.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Brenda Holman. Item 35. I reviewed the objection. It looks like it's an estate matter.
It is, Judge. It's been an estate that's been open for 7 years, however. Usually our policy is if it's 1 to 2 years, we would agree to the removal, but an estate this old, that's an issue. The last payment was made 2 years ago, Judge, and that payment was only $100. The total owed is about $5,885. We would agree to the payment plan, though, however, if they can pay the 25%, that amount would be $1,471.50. We would agree to removal if they can make that payment plan.
May I add something, sir?
Sure.
I was unaware of this action up until the 21st of August. It's my understanding that there was supposed to have been letters, and indeed there was a letter sent out from SRI certified on July 12th. However, I had never received any documentation. I am an executrix of the estate, representing my father. I have solely been paying the taxes out of my personal finances. The estate of Indiana has never had a penny in it. After I was unable to pay those taxes, which about $12,000 came out of my personal finances. And then we had a sign that was down at that property that generated income at $100 a month, and I would faithfully save that for approximately 3 months and send those payments in every time I received a payment. And the last payment was indeed $100. And what I didn't include it on my forms that I filed, but I have indeed been able to do the footwork and prove that the document was never sent to me. I have a letter from the postmaster as well as information from the site on the internet as to when the mail was received and why it was rejected, and I never had the opportunity. The way I found out about this event was a fluke. An aunt called me and said, "I seen this in the paper, did you know?"
Okay.
The property is up for sale. We have offered, I have representation of that if you'd like to see. We have a buyer pending a probate hearing, and I have documentation of that as well.
Let me see that. You want an order from the probate court?
Yes, just a second. This is a letter from my attorney showing that the hearing. And truly, sir, this has been the bane of my existence. And I would just like to ask for a little time to get this property sold and get this debt paid off.
Judge, I've been handed a letter from Attorney David Butterfield out of Valparaiso indicating that the case is set for hearing. It appears on the sale of the real estate on September 12th, next week.
A petition to authorize the sale of it in the estate?
It says status hearing in the letter, but I think he's telling her to go over the status of the estate. I'm sure he didn't put in the exact.
This is all of the information about the sale. That's the man's earnest money.
She shows me a copy of an earnest money check in the amount of $5,000, Judge. Based on that pending estate and the indication that sale is forthcoming, Judge, we'd agree to removal from the tax.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
We'll show it removed.
I'm sorry.
We'll show it removed.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nancy White, item number 5 on the list.
Yep, sure.
And Attorney White, according to the objection that was filed and my records that the key number was incomplete, can you give me that?
Which number is it?
It's number 5 on the list.
I don't have
Did you find it?
it. No, I didn't have to complete.
Does anybody have the correct key number?
Yeah, that's what's on the petition.
This is a no. No.
Here it is, Judge. He's missing an 06.
So that's 45, give me the whole thing.
It's
45,
45
07,
dash 07 dash 06
oh gosh, 06.
dash 154 dash 018 000 dash 023.
Okay.
Judge, this is a hardship objection as well. Taxes due and owing are in excess of $20,500.
My notes from the review of the file indicate it was in litigation of some sort. What's going on with that?
I was in court Monday to get this person that's living there evicted. I had an eviction hearing, but that didn't go through. That was July 19th, and then her attorney wanted to have it sent to a trial by jury court. She had no right to the property, but for some reason we got into a battle over it, even though
So the litigation is still
going on.
Is an eviction?
It's an ejection, plus she's trying to see if she has rights to the property.
If it was in small claims court, Judge, I think Ms. White, who's here, is this your name? Ms.
Yes.
White? You were the owner of the property?
Yes.
You bought it at a tax sale?
No, I didn't.
Okay. But you had a tenant in the property. You don't live in the property.
No,
right?
I don't live in the property.
Okay.
She didn't pay any money.
And so then you filed a small claims to get her evicted?
Evicted,
Okay.
then it went to an ejection or whatever you call it. And then we have something called, what is it, to go to trial by jury. So it's been a battle over that property, and I don't know when it's going to end. And I just want to keep the property.
Judge, it's a landlord-tenant fight. Ms. White owns the property, hasn't paid taxes on it, and the objection is that she is having a problem with her tenant. That's not a viable objection to get it removed from the tax.
Can I say something? The tenant is trying to take over the property. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what this fight is about. It's not a landlord-tenant thing. She claimed that I told her that she could have the property, which I did not. As a matter of fact, it was saved. Let me show you what her lawyer said to me.
Actually, in looking at your file, I think there's enough information in there for me to review it. So for purposes of today's hearing, I'll show the auditor's office objects. Is that...
We have an objection to removal, Judge. Again, the taxes are in excess of $20,000 owed. I don't show the last payment owed, last payment made.
The last payment was made in January, but the payment was not made by me. I had no idea that this property was returned to me. The tenant that lives there...
Well, do you object to it being on the sale?
Yes, I do, because I want to keep the property. The tenant case, which I did not know, she came down and was hoping that I wouldn't find out about what she had done. The city had sent a notice to me about the property, and I said, why are they sending me this notice? I thought the property wasn't mine anymore. And they said, yes, it is. You need to go down to check with the county and find out what's going on. Then I found out what was going on, and then she started to fight me for the property. She had my mail sent to the 827 address, which I live at 1048 Morris Street. As a matter of fact, I have my change of address right here because she had all my mail sent there, which I was not aware of what had happened because she had my mail sent to that property, so I would not get any notice. She made sure I would not find out about it, but I did because the city sent me notification.
Okay.
So here it is. This is where I changed I got to get my mail again. I had to go back and change it because she came down here and changed my address to her address, so I would not know anything about it. And I went back 4/2/13 to get the address changed back so I could get my mail. So she made sure that I did not know that this property was returned to me because I had filed bankruptcy. That's what happened.
Okay.
So would you like to...
I'll take a look at the file, and
I had to get
put the ruling in
You can fight this.
final order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Sabrina Rogers?
No, I didn't get a chance to look at the tenant. This is very strange. She came to make the payment plan. I knew nothing about it. It's a strange thing.
I don't even know if you have this attorney. So I'll look at the file and look at the objection.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But I do want to pay these taxes.
So, Sabrina Rogers, I don't think you have this one on your list, or do you? Well, it's not.
Oh, yes, I have it on my list, Judge. I have it under my handwritten number 47.
Okay.
But it's on the back of my list only. The key number, Judge, for the record is 45-09-16-402-001.000-021. I believe there's been discussions with Ms. Rogers. We would have no objection to a payment plan on this one as well, Judge. The 25% payment is $519.57. She can pay that by September 12th.
Sure, is that, go
Your
ahead.
Honor, I had called and spoken to Heather in the treasurer's office, and she had told me about that I could possibly get on a payment plan. I am disabled, and my total income is $720 a month. And when she told me how much it would be, I said, there is no way that I can afford that. I don't want to tell you that I can. What is my next option? And the reason that I'm in this situation, well, for one thing, my fiance passed away 5 years ago, and there is no common law in Indiana. We were together for almost 10 years. Anyway, the property that we had lived in all that time, which is my home now, he borrowed the money and bought and paid his siblings after their parents passed away. They're part of the inheritance. Well, when he passed away, I didn't know how to handle legal situations like this and did not want to get in any kind of legal trouble about anything. So I hired an attorney with the money that he had left me from his 401k. I purchased the house, and the attorney advised me that it should just be fine, that it would be an unsupervised estate. Well, I didn't know anything about this kind of stuff yet. I'm learning. Believe me, I'm learning. But anyway, I do have, just now have been assigned a case manager, and we'll be able to, and I was dealing with the IRS too, during all this stuff that's going on. They had been taking my income taxes for a student loan that I had in 1989, and it was for $1,890.97. I've already given them back like $6,000 of tax money.
Are you in agreement with their plan to pay $500 to it?
I don't, my whole total monthly income, sir.
Well, I don't know what the payment plan would be. What they're saying is you'd have to pay $500.
Just to take
But
it
then
off.
what's the payment plan after that?
Just to pay that. That's the treasurer's office has a written form that they have them fill out, Judge.
What do they usually
I
pay?
think it's over a year. I think they get a year to pay the balance.
Give me a year.
Well, if it's $1,500 and it's over a year, it's probably $100 a month or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
yeah, I think that'd be pretty close, Judge.
If you possibly could give me a year, I know it will not take that long. I had this student loan.
Okay, well, just listen to what they're.
Okay, sir.
Oh, they're saying. No, is this the right one? No, I'm sorry. 45. Oh, no, we don't have that one.
Yeah, that's the one we don't have.
We don't have that one.
Unfortunately, Judge, Ms. Rogers came in today off the street. There wasn't a written.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was going to ask.
And so we don't have her information here.
I've been in twice to talk to Heather. And,
Well, do you know that if the 25% is $500, is that correct?
Yes, I think she found that out this morning.
And then, what would the
I don't know.
payment plan work out to be then?
Give me one minute.
Obviously,
Judge.
it'd be about $1,500 left.
Your Honor, I promise you, I will get this taken care of, and I'm so sorry I did not realize that this was even happening either until the last minute. I have been dealing with actually with the IRS and stuff because I was in the courtroom upstairs a few months ago with Judge Harris, and the attorney that I was just now in reference to said right there in Judge Harris's office that his family hired her after I did, which is conflict of interest.
Okay, but what is the...
So.
It'll come out to about just $130 a month, Judge.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else?
$130 a month every month.
After the first payment is made, the 25% is made. After you pay $519, then it's
There's no way I
one.
can do that, sir. There's no way I can do that right now. They have been taking my money for this student loan. The man that owned the school was embezzling, and he shot himself in the head. That's a God's honest truth. You can look it up. It happened in 1989 in Oklahoma. Anyway, the school closed.
All right, well, I'll consider the petition, and you'll get an order regarding...
But I will be homeless, literally. I have no family. I have nobody to help me. I have no man in my life or friend in my life or nothing like that to help me. And I think that I will probably be refunded my student loan money because I didn't get any benefit from it or get to finish the school, and they have documentation finding that it did happen, and that's how it happened. So anyway, I will catch all my taxes up if they refund my money, and I'm pretty sure they will. They told me yesterday on the phone, I mailed off everything yesterday, sir, and they said that it would take about 30 days for them to get it and consider it and then make a decision, and then it would be 6 to 8 weeks after that if they refunded my money. And if not, at least they won't charge me the next $4,000 worth of interest. My loan was not even it wasn't even $1,900, sir. And they recruited us from where I lived in an apartment complex to go to a beauty college. I did not know it was not legitimate. The man who owned the college, Dale Carey, was embezzling. And
okay, I've heard.
We understand your
petition. We understand the petition.
So poor. I am
in fairness to everybody else here, we've got 40 people here. If everybody stands up here and talks for a half an hour,
I understand.
All right.
Attorney Drake, sorry, I forgot about you because the monitor was in my way.
It's number 41, I believe, Judge.
Number 41.
You're done, ma'am. You're done, ma'am.
Yours is all finished. The judge is going to issue an order on Monday to let you know whether it's on the sale or off. Okay?
For Paul Howard?
I can't know now.
No, you cannot know now.
So there was a physical file on this one?
There,
41?
Number 41, yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor. I'm talking with before Paul Howard, who filed an objection on
I didn't have this file before the hearing, so I'm not sure what it's about.
Judge, I don't either because this property is not on this tax sale coming up. It was sold in April. It was sold 4 months ago.
Okay, so it's not even
it's not on the list. It's not on the list because it was sold 4 months ago at the commissioner's sale.
That's true. That's true. But it was, this is on an objection to the issuance, to the petition for the issuance of the tax.
Okay, then have you filed an objection in that particular file?
I did. It does not. Well,
I was just looking to see.
I haven't seen this. This came up apparently to us as a objection to being placed on the treasurer's sale coming up here.
No, it was, in any case, it was sold on...
Yeah, he has it on his petition. It's objection and defense as to issuance of tax deed. So they needed to give him the date, October 4th date. That's the tax deed date hearing.
Oh,
Okay.
Perhaps. I mean, if that's...
Yeah.
So it'll be October...
I don't even know if... We don't know as we sit here today whether anybody's even filed a petition for deed. Or do you?
Actually, I got the petition in the mail just yesterday, I believe. This is the petition for the...
Yeah, Doug Kabachkoff has filed it, Judge. This is the 4.6 notice. And yes, October 4th.
Is it set October 4th?
It's set October 4th.
Okay,
we're checking with the,
Yeah, so you'll need to be here October 4th.
October 4th, the 10th.
We'll put you down as first signed up since you're
Since you're early, first time here. For the first one here. For the
First one here for that day.
Yes.
10 o'clock, right?
That's right. 9:30. 9:30.
9:30.
October 4th. All right.
October 4th.
Make sure he's not going to October 4th.
I'll make sure.
Rebecca Beck.
Okay. Did you sign on? Did you say?
Rebecca Beck. Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
Number 6?
Good morning.
Number 6. Judge, this is, we've reviewed the objection. It is a probate matter that's pending, a recent probate matter. As a result, we're agreeing to removal from the sale.
We'll show that agreed.
Thanks.
Yep.
Tommy Crittenden, number 40 on the list. I believe, from my review of the petition, you had stated that you owed $394.31 and that you would be paid before today's hearing. Is that what happened?
Yes, this one I paid the total amount to take it off, $861.31.
Any objection?
One moment, Judge. You just handed us something today.
Showing a payment?
Showing payment.
25,
Yeah, agreed removal, Judge, based on the
Okay.
payment made.
All right. Show it granted in the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yep. Hillard Stansel. I think my review of these files showed that I think his complaint was that he was overassessed and there's appeal pending. Is that right?
No,
No appeals, just that his claim is that you were overassessed.
he just said he's overassessed, Judge. There's no appeals pending.
Why haven't you filed an appeal of your taxes?
He's been on prior payment I'm sorry, sir. He's been on prior payment plans before. He's been non-compliant on all three. As a result, Judge, we object to removal of all three parcels, numbers 9, 10, and 11.
Anything else you want to add other than what was in your petition?
You reassessed because you got to assess at $125,000. You're only worth $30,000 on that block. No house in that block worth $150,000.
Okay, so you're saying which ones are assessed at 120? The Connecticut Street? What about the other two?
The other one is the lot.
Oh, the lots of 251719 go with 2521? What about 3924 Monroe? Why haven't you filed an appeal? I don't know, sometimes they honor late appeals, I've seen, but I don't know. I mean, if you think it's overassessed, you need to file an appeal with the assessor's office. Would his be directly to the Lake County assessors, or would it be his local assessor? What township are you in?
Calumet Township, Judge.
Okay, so you'd have to file an appeal with the Calumet Township assessor.
Judge, these have, just for the record, these have been delinquent since going back to 2009 for 4 years. With last payment was in 2011, a couple years ago. We had payment plans in the past on all three. They've been non-compliant all three times.
Right. Anything else? You need, no matter what happens today, you need to go to the assessor's office, township assessor's office, and file an appeal if you want to have your assessment reviewed going forward. And I don't know if they'll allow you to do it retroactive or not, but if you believe your property is overassessed, you need to go file an appeal. Because that's the only way to let the governmental body know that they've made an error.
So it can't be taken off for sale.
As I said earlier to everybody else, most of these I've reviewed. We have a hearing today to let you add anything to it. Attorney Wiley gets to tell me what the perspective is of the auditor's office. I'm making notes of that. I will then go back and look at each and every file individually and make a determination as to whether or not, pursuant to Indiana law, it can be taken off the sale. So I'll be looking at that. With having 50 some of these, to give them, each and every one of them, ample and fair consideration, I choose to review them before the hearing, have the hearing, and review them again after the hearing so I don't make any mistakes. So that's why I do it that way. So the order will come out Monday or Tuesday and will be mailed to you. But I rarely make any decisions from the bench today because I want to make sure I get it correct. And I hear both sides, and I have another opportunity to review the file. Okay?
What about that? Is it eligible for payment plan?
It's not available for payment plan. Based on non-compliance.
Whether it would be available for payment plan is something that's strictly between the auditor's office and the the property owner, and it has nothing to do with the court. So, yeah, and I guess he just indicated would not be due to.
Not eligible.
Right, that's what he said. Okay. All right, thank you. Rachel Wilson, number 8 on the list. Good morning.
Your Honor, it's also a hardship objection alleging issues with her mortgage.
Yeah, I saw the bank stop paying their escrow or something.
Yes, sir. And when I became aware of it, it was mid 2011. I made a $500 payment. In August 2011, I lost my employment, but I still made another payment earlier this year for $500. So I've been trying to give what I can when I can.
Judge, we'd agree to the payment plan on this. This was up for sale last year. She paid the $966 to get it removed last year, which that's just gets removed. That wasn't that wasn't a payment plan. That was just the amount to get it removed from the sale, which she did. She then paid another $500 payment in March of this year. It's been delinquent since 2010, for the last 3 years. I'm not sure when these issues arose with the mortgage, but we would agree to a payment plan in this situation. The 25% that would be needed by September 12th next week is $1,179.49.
Is that?
I'm not working. I am considered to be in ArcelorMittal. I took my last PANS test to get in. Right now, I don't know because that was the 7th of this year, so I'm not for sure what's going on with that, but I'm still waiting. So I'm not employed, and I don't.
Okay. So, auditor objects?
We do object, Judge.
All right. As I said before, I will re-review your file, and you've added everything in addition to
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Russell Hines. I have 3 on the list. Mr. Hines, anything that you wish to add that you didn't include in the written petition that you filed with the court?
Yes, Your Honor. I had 7 deaths in my family during this payment plan, including my mother and close relatives, my nephews and nieces. And that slowed me up on my payments, but I did bring some of the payments I had down on other houses, down to where they said, I owe this one house. I have 5...
What's that?
I have 5 checks here to pay a deposit on this one.
Just under $5,000, Judge. He was non-compliant in the prior plan. He's correct. It was up for sale last year. He got on the payment plan.
How many checks do you have there?
I had 5 checks to go up and pay down one this morning. I'm going to pay this morning. I just didn't have time to go to the bank to cash them. I'm going to put that money on this house here. I saved that just to this day here to make sure I didn't spend any of it.
He appears to have about $1,450 in checks, Judge. The amount to remove that we have right now would be $3,000, $3,042. So he's beneath that. Based on non-compliant, just so that we're the same with all petitioners, judge, and all objectors, we have to keep the same stance. Because he was non-compliant in the last plan, we have to object to the removal.
Okay. All right, anything else you want to add other than what you said and what was in your petition? Because I'm going to go back and review the petitions.
Well, Your Honor, I didn't know that it was $3,000 as far as 25%.
That's not 25%. That's to remove it from the sale, which is the taxes plus penalties from the prior year. You're not eligible for the 25% because of being non-compliant last time.
Because I had debt in my debt, and I had to help out. I had to help out. I missed days at work just to be there and everything. And I will pay. Well, I will pay. I will pay if I do this disability. I will pay.
All right, I'll take a look at the file as I review everything, probably later this afternoon. Yep. Caroline Seaton.
No.
I apologize, I skipped you. I got distracted when I had Attorney Drake back up here, and then I apologize. You were higher up on the list.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I'm here for several things.
25.
First, could we start with number 29 with United Capital Properties, LLC?
Okay, item 29.
Yes, sir.
What's your position with that company?
I have given him a copy of my card for training for this particular property, and I am an employee of this company. What this is that...
have you looked at the objection? Just my notes said that there was appeals. I don't know.
On number 20.
Very general, that's what my notes indicate.
It's on appeal for 2009 and 2012, Judge. There's been... the 29 one was completed already. The only open appeal is 2012. There's been 4 years of no payments at all on this parcel, I believe.
Okay.
What's the auditor's position?
Objection to removal, Judge.
Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead. Is there anything additional
Yes, Your Honor.
that you want to add that's not in the petition?
Yes, Your Honor, there is. This particular piece of property was actually purchased by United Capital Properties from the city of Hammond as part of the downtown Hammond revitalization. This is the old Penny's building. It is in total disrepair. The cost to repair it is going to actually exceed the assessed value, which again is why there are appeals. However, there has been, and I'm showing this to the attorney now, a letter of intent. The property's been up for sale since 2007. And with that, they finally found the buyer, and they have a letter of intent. They're saying that they will close on the property
by September 27th. And what they're willing to do is give the company $55,000, and then they will pay, it's the same, and then they will pay the taxes on it. So that's my basis for asking the 3 years from the tax sale.
Judge, it's been on the tax sale, or been up for tax sale and removed for the last 3 years. Taxes exceed $55,543.
And at this point...
Again, the objection stands.
And at this point, when it was appraised, the appraised value, even if you use the value of just salvage value, it came to less than $15,000, which is the reason for not being able to sell it. At this point, there's approximately 6 feet of standing water in the basement. There's absolutely nothing can be done. What the property is going to be used for is it's going to be torn down, and it will be used for a parking lot for the adjacent structure. But the taxes will be paid within the next 30 days.
Okay. All right. I'll take a look at that along with the others. What other ones do you have?
I also have the ones for the estates of...
Evelyn Gentry?
Yes. And
25, 27, and 28?
And yes, sir. And that also it carries over to William C. Those are in probate. Their probate court was supposed to send a letter requesting that they be removed. What has happened was that...
I have my notes show that there's a probate order, Judge. My question, when did Eloise Gentry pass away?
In 10. August of 10.
2010?
And what has happened, sir, is that I did not have the power of attorney to even appear at any of the hearings until 2 months ago. And because of that...
You were here last year.
Yeah, but I didn't have power of attorney to even do appeals or anything else. I finally got the power of attorney signed. That was done in probate court. I have 5 buyers for properties. I could not sell the property until I had authority to do it. Now, so hopefully that can be resolved. I'm waiting for...
Judge, on numbers 25, 27, and 28, those are all the estate, the order to remove from the sale. We obviously agree to that removal on those 3. William Seaton, we would object. That's not in an estate. It's not a partial that's in the estate process. Been delinquent since 2009. It was removed from the 2011 sale. It was removed from the 2012 sale. And now here we are in 2013 again.
Your Honor, that is part of the estate. And it is part of the estate because Eloise Gentry is an owner, a partial owner of that property.
Is this William...
was her father.
Predeceased Eloise, the property was never transferred to her before she died, but she was the only heir.
They have nothing in the clerk's office.
And he died when? When did William Seaton pass away?
I don't know the exact date.
If I remember right from previous hearings, wasn't that long ago?
In the 80s? Something like that?
90s?
80s, 90s, yeah.
80s. 30 years ago. And it's still in his name. Nothing's been done to transfer it out. There's nothing showing that it's in the probate court. All they have to do, if that's the case, they need to put it into the probate court and get a probate order, which they did on the other 3. I don't think it's part of the estate. That's why it's not part of the probate order.
Your Honor,
as such, the auditor objects to remove it.
Okay.
All right, we'll show the auditor objects, and again, I'll look at the file.
Okay. And Your Honor, the other one that I'm here for is just at the last minute. He is unable to attend, and that's 21 through 24. And
Stephen Mays?
Yes, sir.
Items 21, 22, 23, 24.
Yes, sir. And what he
Well, Judge, I would object to Ms. Seaton representing somebody without a law license in the court, in the circuit court. That would be my first objection.
Okay.
The second objection is the first 2, number 21 and 22, aren't even up for the sale. The one on Broadway, the one on 26, they are on the commissioner sale.
They're not
even up for this sale, so they can be disregarded.
21 and 22?
Yes, and 23 was already sold at the commissioner's sale in July, last month. So that one also is not to be determined today by this court. Number 24, which is the only one that is active, has been delinquent for 10 years. It's been up for the sale in 06, 07, 08, 09, 10.
I'm sorry, which one are we on now?
Number 24.
Okay, but 23's already been sold at the commissioner's sale?
It's not on the sale at all. I don't know what the status is, other than it's not,
Okay.
it wasn't one listed for sale. Number 23 was already sold last month at the commissioner's sale. That was number 23, Judge. The only one that's active on our files is number 24, the 520 to 26 Broadway in Gary. It's been delinquent for 10 years. It's been up for sale for the last 7 years. It got removed. It was sold in 2011. No taxes were paid. That's why it's back up for the sale again. The amount of taxes owed on the parcel exceed $134,000. As such, the auditor, 833, auditor objects to the removal, Judge.
Okay. And I'll review that file also, as I am going to review all the rest of them. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next name, it just looks like they wrote a first name. It's D-O-V-A. Is it David, maybe? All right. The next one is, it looks like Margaret Artka, number 34.
That's what they said the last time the manager came here.
Which number?
34.
My notes indicate that there was an appeal pending. I don't know.
No appeal.
We don't show any assessment appeals pending, Your Honor.
Hi, Your Honor. I'm Jill Arca. I'm her daughter-in-law. Is it okay if I speak?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Actually, yes, I did file an appeal. I've been filing appeals for the last 2 years because the home is actually a mobile home, and they're assessing my property as a single-family dwelling. And I just finally got through the chain of command to figure out how to get a title. I found the numbers on my home to verify that it is a mobile home. Unfortunately, the brick and the frame are this close together, and if I hit the brick, I knock my house down. So I have to file with the BMV for a new number and a new title. I've searched and searched for the previous guy on the title. I cannot find him. I can't find any relatives.
Judge, our records show this has been up for sale both in 11 and 12. It was removed both times. We don't show why. We have question marks as it was why it was removed last time. Last payment was 2 years ago on taxes.
I just paid 24 something on this house. Yes,
Do you have a receipt? Do you have
the bank thing.
Do you have copies of your appeals that you say are pending?
No, I don't.
Our records show no appeals pending, Judge, on assessment.
Yeah.
We would object to removal from the sale, Judge.
All right. I'll look at the file.
Because as soon as we leave here, I'm going to get my title, and I'm flying it straight to Julian in Hobart, because I have yet to have a hearing through Hobart.
Where is it? Where's your mobile home?
New Chicago. So I have Hobart. Okay. I pay my taxes to Hobart. So I'm going to go get my title, and then once I get my title and prove that it's a mobile home, I get reassessed. And all my taxes go down to $600 a year.
Okay. All right. We'll look at the file.
Okay.
Thank you.
Once I get that title, do I need to bring it here? Do I need to bring it to you guys?
No, that's okay. I believe you that it's a mobile home. So.
Right. You're the only one.
No, the tax lady does.
Yeah.
Not change.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Michelle Muhammad.
Number 7, Your Honor.
Number 7 on call. Good morning.
Your Honor, it's also a hardship objection. Ms. Muhammad has been non-compliant with payment plans in the past. As such, our standard objection exists to removal from the sale.
Ms. Muhammad, anything that you would like to add that's not in the petition that you filed with the court?
Yes, sir. I actually cashed out my retirement plan that I have in place and waiting on the money from that so I can pay my taxes so I can clear it.
How much did you take from your pension?
I don't know, they didn't give me a final.
How much does she owe?
To get it removed from the sale, Judge, it's $4,180.51.
They told me 6 to 8 weeks, and I did it like 4 weeks ago. And to receive my funds, and I will take care of my taxes.
That's the full amount?
That's just to get it removed from the sale. That's last year's taxes plus penalties.
Is there any
And that would have to be before.
What's the total amount?
Total amount is $5,535.60.
Is there any way to?
Well, you can pay that at any time. Even if it goes on the sale, if you get the $5,000 2 weeks from now and you pay it, you're off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Even if it goes to this tax sale, somebody buys it, you pay the amount. Once you get your money, you pay it off and you redeem the property.
Is there any way to?
Because this property's been redeemed twice in the past. 1998, it went on sale, sold, got redeemed. Oh, well, 2000, just the history. 2000, it also sold and it got redeemed.
No, they did. Take on the trip to a couple years ago. But as far as the penalties, is there any way to?
Nothing, can't be removed. Is this the house you live in there?
Yes, sir. That's transferable. Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Rick Lamelli, I think that was already taken care of with attorney process. I can't read that. All right, so there are 2 other names here. There's somebody wrote their name in blue ink. I have no idea.
Just have to step up.
Yeah. Who else is here today? All right. Sir, come on forward. What's your name?
Douglas Carlson.
Okay. All right, just have a seat. All right, Douglas Carlson, number 13.
Correct.
I have 13 on the list.
Judge, also a hardship objection. Owner would have no objection to the payment plan with the treasurer's office. The amount to get on that plan, the 25% down payment, is $633.73.
Okay, can you explain what that is to him so he knows?
Yes, if you pay that 25% amount, $633.73, we will remove you from the sale. And then the remaining 75% of the taxes owed, you'll enter a payment plan with the treasurer's office to get that paid.
Okay.
May I speak?
Yes.
My father died a little over 2 years ago. I was with him till the age of 98. He was afraid of being banished to a nursing home. I sacrificed a 25-year career in Chicago to come home and stay with him. I have been told, because I own the house free and clear now, if I can get back into the same field, I can qualify for a mortgage. I have good credit scores. However, one thing I did not include is that in March of 2009, I got a DUI. And that is obviously, I believe, killing my chances of getting a job. I'm also looking for jobs during the night with Walmart and Home Depot, and I've taken interviews for slightly above minimum wage part-time jobs, and I have reason to believe that my police record might be blowing me out there also. I am very apprehensive about my ability to hold any kind of payment arrangement. I've been doing my best, and I cannot find anything.
Well, basically what they're saying at this point is, just to get it off the sale?
I have no means, and I have no way to go. I have everyone tapped out. Judge, I have proposed, I'm just a year away from Social Security. If I can get this thing moved off the sale this year, worst case scenario, if I'm unable to find work by this time next year, I'll be in a position to make payment arrangements using my Social Security.
How much is owed?
Total owed taxes, Judge, is $2,534.91. And again, that 25% payment plan, the first payment is $633.73.
All right, anything else other than what was in the petition?
No, I left out the DUI.
Okay.
Because I'm ashamed of it. So I left it out. But I mean, I believe it's having an undeniable effect on my ability to get any kind of work. And that's why I'm apprehensive about entering in any kind of payment arrangement.
Very good. I'll take a look at the file.
Okay, so I would expect a letter next week?
Yeah, you'll get an order in the mail.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Sir? No, I'm sorry. This gentleman here. What's your name?
My name's Fred Oparka.
Fred Oparka.
Ella Brady Funeral Home.
Oh, okay. Ella Brady Funeral Home, item number 32.
Yes. Same thing, Judge. I believe it's a hardship objection. Auditor would have no objection to a payment plan. However, the 25% is substantial in this situation. It's $5,376.92.
You explain what that is?
Yes, if you can pay that $5,376.82 by the 12th, which is next week, we'll remove it from the sale. And then the remaining 75% of taxes owed will be paid over the next year through a written agreement with the Treasurer's Office.
That's impossible.
To pay the $5,000?
Yes, I'm only making about $12,000, $14,000 a year now. I just want to explain a couple things to you. I have two letters here, one from the liver doctor, one from my pulmonologist. Back in 2004, I had a liver transplant. I spent 5.5 months in the hospital, 5 of them in intensive care. During the operation, there was some nerve damage to my lungs, and that's why I'm with this breathing machine right now. It's impossible for me to do the work that I was doing before because I take immune suppressant drugs. I tried my best after going back to work for a few years to keep it going. I couldn't do it because I had to hire people to keep the business running, and I was not making enough money to do that. I tried paying my taxes up until a couple of years ago, and finally it just became impossible to do it. I am still married. I do have the property up for sale. No, I don't have anybody as of right now that wants to buy it, though I've had a couple people look at it. I did have Vail appraisals look at the property. They appraised it for over $500,000. I owe like $20,000. That investment of mine years ago was my wife and I selling our home in Illinois and coming out here, where I worked for over 30 years successfully until I got sick. While working on the body, I stuck myself with an infected needle and got the hepatitis C virus, which I did not know at the time until years later when physiologically speaking the symptoms started showing, and by that time it was too late to do anything but get a liver transplant. I've got those the letters here from the doctors. I'm not asking for anything except that let me sell my property, the taxes will be paid, and I won't be a burden on the country.
I think Attorney Kears has a motion, Judge.
Go ahead.
Judge, we have no objection to removing it from the sale.
All right.
Do you want these letters from the doctors?
That's not necessary.
That's it then?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sir, what's your name? No, you're good.
Charles.
Number 2, Your Honor. On the docket. Number 2.
Number 2? Oh, Charles Churchill. My notes had indicated that there was an appeal or not. Yes, I don't know. I couldn't tell what your objection was.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Judge, to interrupt you.
Yeah, no.
He's handed me a document that's been file stamped in August with the auditor's office to appeal his homestead deduction to try and, I assume, get it back on. Okay, it is back on for 12 pay 13.
So it's granted by agreement?
Yeah, it wasn't an appeal, Judge. It was just trying to get his exemption on the property, which he was successful to get that back. The total taxes owed are $8,000. It's been delinquent for the last 3 years. There was a hardship objection by Mr. Churchill. The amount to remove it, we would agree to the payment plan, Judge. The amount for that payment plan, the 25% down payment, is $2,004.88. So we would agree to that, Judge, as our standard objection.
Mr. Churchill, do you understand what he's...
Yes, and when we moved into the property, it was like a rehab property, and it's been more work than I guess anticipated. And we didn't know about the homestead because I guess they didn't really tell us about it. And with the homestead, they said if I would have filed it when we first moved in, that all the taxes would have been cut in half, so I wouldn't have owed the total amount.
11, 12.
Is what they're offering, is that something that you're interested in doing?
The 25% down is $2,004.88 by next Thursday. Can you pay that to get it removed?
Right, no, I can't.
All right, anything else then?
And then I went to the assessor's office, and I guess they reduced it for the value of it because they said it was a good value, and then they changed it to fair. So I guess that would reduce the taxes too.
Again, for this year, his appeal has been successfully completed, Judge, and the assessment was reduced substantially.
And basically, if I would have went to these places when I first got it, then I wouldn't have owed all the taxes.
Yeah, okay. All right, anything else? Okay, well, take that, I got notes to that when I review the file. Again, I'll take that into account. Yep.
You'll get something in the mail.
Anybody else here for the tax sale proceeding? Okay. All right, let's see.
Can we review?
Yeah, let's go over these. Number one,
we have that as a pending probate matter with an agreed removal, Judge.
No.
Items number 30 and 31.
We have both of those as agreed removals, Judge.
So granted, agreed?
That's correct.
Number 39.
I believe Mr. Kears has an agreement with the Treasurer's Office, Judge. Number 39.
Okay, so that's agreed, removed?
That's correct. Is that Mr. Kears? Is that correct?
Okay.
I couldn't.
Number 43.
Judge, that's also a pending probate matter that just opened this year, so it's an agreed removal.
Number 44.
Judge, that's also an agreed removal. That is actually a Superfund site, several 80 acres or something. It has the assessed value right now at $10. I got a letter from Washington, D.C. indicating that this should never be on the tax sale. We're trying to work out a way that will be permanently removed, but that's an agreed removal for today's purposes.
Okay. Number 45.
Also an agreed removal, Judge. There are six key numbers on that. Those are all agreed removals.
Okay, and then number 46.
That is also a probate estate issue, Judge. That's an agreed removal.
All right, let's take another quick moment to go over, do you see any I've missed?
I don't believe so. I have them all accounted for, Judge.
I do too. Okay, well, that will conclude today's call then. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, as always.